How you doing? This is Dub FX. I am making a review video. I've never done this before. I normally make tutorials and music videos, but today I am making a review video. And the reason I'm doing this is a couple of reasons. The first reason is I get asked a lot about the gear I use, right? And one of the ones that I hear a lot that people ask me, especially producers, is what headphones I'm using, what monitors I'm using, how am I mixing my stuff. So I am going to tell you about these headphones and the company that makes these headphones, because I've been using these headphones almost every day for the last 2 or 3 years since they sent me this pair. They sent me them because they wanted me to post a photo of me wearing them on Instagram in return for free headphones. I said, sure, send me some free headphones. They sent it to me. I tried them out. I was like, yeah, these are pretty good. Okay, sweet. Took a photo. Thanks. I started using them in the studio, and I've showed so many producers these headphones, and they have gone out and bought them straight after. Like, I can't stress enough how amazing these headphones are. And they only cost like 200 something euros. I've been using them a lot and I love them. And I thought, what other headphones do they have? So I looked on the website and they've got some super expensive headphones. And I was like, ooh, I want to know what they sound like, but I don't know where to test them out. So I reached out to them this time and I said, hey, can you give me an artist discount on some of those amazing looking headphones you got? And they said, I'll tell you what, you make a video about the headphones and we'll send them to you for free. They sent me these headphones. These are the Elites. These are their flagship model. They're the most expensive one they have. They cost 4,000 euros. Now, there's not many people out there who can afford 4,000 euros on a pair of headphones, but I would tell you this. If you are a music producer and you produce rock, pop, folk, classical, intimate sounding music, and you want a good pair of headphones, look no further than these. I've been using these headphones for the last month and a half, and I've noticed so much in my mixes because of the definition that these things have. They are so defined, okay? They are open backs, so they're super bright. They're clear in the top end. So I don't know if you've heard the Beyerdynamic DT990s. These are like 1,000 million times better than those ones, right? That's basically how you can think about them. They look insane. Look how big they are on my head. I have actually upgraded these. These come off and you can put different ones on. I went for these ones because they're like super comfortable and like cushiony, and these could stay on my head like all day and I wouldn't even realize I'm wearing them, put it that way. What else about these amazing headphones? I said they're super defined and you can hear everything. Why is that good? If you're mixing music and you have super clear defined music, you can hear everything that you're doing, especially because the top end is so revealing of like the attitude of the sound of the music. So like distortions, if you're like compressing something and it starts distorting, but you wouldn't normally hear them on these, for example, you will definitely hear them on these. You can hear compression if you're overly compressing something. Like reverbs is super clear. I was listening to some tracks by like 90s hip hop and early 2000s reggae music and stuff. And what was crazy is these headphones, I can hear the mistakes in the mix. So like when it slightly distorts on one particular moment that it shouldn't have. That sort of stuff, you know. I wouldn't normally notice that stuff. I notice so much in these. I could hear the samples of the kicks and the snares so much more. That's so defined to the point where I could just tell they just sounded like samples. They didn't feel like it was part of the music. It wasn't glued together. These kind of headphones glue the mix together. I still, like I said, I mixed a lot. 2 records in these, you know, flicking back and forth between these and my monitors and the DT990s. But what I loved about these was they kind of reminded me of what a sound system sounds like. When you want to hear if you want to know what your music's going to sound like on a sound system, right? Not clear, not defined, quite mushy, quite compressed in your face. The DJ's redlining on the mixer. This is what they sound like. And, you know, if they sound too bass heavy in these, then you know you've gone too far. If they sound a bit too like, then you've gone too far. You know, these are at the limit, but when you find that limit, they're great for that. These, on the other hand, are the opposite. These are like it sounds more like a high fidelity sound system. Like, you know, really good if you want to be listening to jazz music, or if you're making jazz or classical or, like I said, folk, all that kind of stuff. Incredible. Then they also sent me these ones. these are the lyrics. Now, when I first put these on, I was like, I don't need these. They're like, what are they going to do? Right? Like they've got they're closed back. They've got more bass response, but they don't have as much definition as these. But then I started using them a bit more, and I realized that these are probably my favorite ones. They cost $2,000. So again, they're not cheap, but if you are a dance music producer, you need these. I mean, if you're looking for good headphones, these are incredible. I would not recommend these for a dance music producer. I said, again, when I was very specific before, I said classical, jazz, rock, pop, that kind of stuff. Not dance music, not bass music. These. I mean, you can also get away with these and good monitors for bass music, but if you don't have great monitors, then these are amazing. I could pretty much do a whole mix down in these because they've got just maybe not quite as much bass as these, but enough that it sounds incredible. It sounds really deep and thuddy. And it's got way more definition than these. Not quite as much as these, but it's like in the middle. Enough to the point, though, where there's enough definition. Like, these are out of control defined. I've never heard anything sound this clean and this crisp. And I've never heard the mistakes in music as much as I have in this. Like, when I say the mistakes in the mixing, like, and if you would know what I mean, and it's not like me being, like, arrogant, towards other people's mixing. Like, I mean it as in, like, you could just hear so much more. So I went and listened to a whole bunch of different genres as well as mixing them. And I would say that, for example, listening to, say, Noisia on these is a whole new experience for me. I've not heard sounds like that before in my head, like drum and bass, that stuff, especially like Noise's latest album. But then, listening to, say, something like Jeff Buckley, like, it sounds great, don't get me wrong, but Jeff Buckley or Michael Kiwanuka or whatever sounds way better in this. You know what I mean? Any music with strings, especially, like, even I was listening to Alborosie, like a reggae artist, and he's got a track with strings in it. And that track in particular sounded better with these headphones than with these. Just something about it, just way more open. But again, these have got more bass and more thud. That's not to say these don't have bass. They just don't have as much, and they don't have enough for me to make electronic music in. Like, I need a bit more exaggeration in the bottom end to feel like that it's where it needs to be. Otherwise, I kind of end up pushing the bass too hard in these. These are closed back. Once again, they're closed back, and the reason that's great is because they don't leak sound. You can't track vocals with these, but you definitely can track vocals with these. Again, you can also track them with these. These are closed back. And I don't want to dismiss these. Like I said, these were my favorite headphones, but not anymore. Now these are my favorite headphones. Sorry. If I was to, like, give you a use case scenario where I have the options of all three, which I do, this is something that I would possibly do. If I was making a beat in MPC, for example, I would use these headphones to start off because, again, they're not so defined that everything kind of sounds good in them, right? So selecting some samples, throwing them together, putting a beat together, finding the vibe, perfect for these. For the mix down, I would put them aside and I would put these on and I would mix the whole thing down because I get all the bottom end that I need, but I get all the clarity that I need. And I could probably mix it down to the point where it's like almost finished. And at the very end, if I want to master it, then I might use these. And because, when you're mastering, you want to kind of remove the room that you mixed it in, right? And remove the headphones in this case that I mixed it in and put these ones on and then obviously reference other music and go back and forth, and I will hear a little bit more definition in the top end and probably get it to the point where it sounds perfect on any sound system. And I'd probably go back and forth. And of course, I would go back and forth between my actual monitors. That's like a given. But yeah, to start a track, these are amazing. To record vocals, to record musicians, to have them in the room listening to this, it's perfect. You can probably hear my daughter in the background making noises. Anyway, that's basically the long and short of it. There are other reviewers out there who go into the technical stuff about these headphones, the ohms and all that stuff. I don't know much about that stuff. I know how to mix records. I know what I like. I know what the sound of. Again, these for electronic music. If you've got the money, buy them. These, if you do more folky kind of stuff and more intimate sounding music, these, if you can afford them, buy them. If you can't afford either of these two, I would buy these anyway because, like I said, for tracking vocals as a vocalist, when I put these on, I hear everything. And it sounds punchy and fat, and the vibe, I hear the vibe. It's like good. My vocals sound really good in them when I'm tracking my vocals. And yeah, if they're just a nice, ignorant sounding pair of fat, punchy headphones that you can just plug into anything, and they're super loud. When I plug these in, after listening to music on these, it's way louder. Like there's obviously, I don't know how it works, but these obviously need more juice to run, and so they're quieter. So when I plug them in, like the volume drops when I put these in and when I put these in. I don't know what that means, but it's something. Anyway. That's my review on these headphones. I think that Mezi are an amazing company. They're super generous, and I really appreciate that they sent me these headphones. And I will be mixing all my records in these from now on when I make electronic music. These when I do other kind of more floaty, kind of breathy, kind of intimate stuff. And I will be using these when I'm messing around and I just want to chuck them in a backpack and go make some beats on a train or something. I will never bring these out because they cost $2,000. Why would you do that? That's my video. Thank you, Mez, and thank you for watching. If you like me doing this sort of stuff and you want me to do more kind of reviews and things like that, let me know. If you don't and you think this was a total waste of time, you can let me know too. I won't comment, though, because I don't believe in negative feedback. I only want positive feedback. Jokes. Anyway, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. You guys are awesome, and big up yourselves. Ciao.